If you run a coaching, consulting, or agency business, you probably use sales pages or call booking pages to sell info products, coaching programs, or services. In today's video, I'll share my 21-step checklist I go through when working on my sales and call booking pages or helping clients with theirs in order to make sure they convert as best as they can. If you're new here, my name is Mit Kazakov, and over the past 8 years, I've worked one-on-one with over 3 dozen 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses. I've personally managed over $4.5 million in ad spend, generating over $24 million in tracked ROI and God knows how much untracked revenue, all before launching scientific scaling systems where we help coaching, consulting, and agency businesses scale. At SSS, we have a 21-step checklist we go through before launching any sales page of our own or for a client, including pages selling info products, services, and coaching programs, as well as call booking pages. This checklist will help you make sure you've covered all your bases so that you can get the best possible results right from the get-go. Step number 1 on the checklist is no header menu. There's 2 reasons why you don't want to feature a big logo, header menu, or links at the top of your sales page. First off, the whole goal of funnel optimization is to make the funnel look as much as a cylinder as possible. In other words, to minimize leakage between steps so that the maximum amount of prospects reach each next step. To this point, you want visitors to go through the predefined path you've created instead of wandering off to another page. That's the first reason why there should be no header menu on your sales page. The second reason has to do with the fact that we now live in a mobile-first world. As of August 2024, 63.38% of global web traffic is on mobile devices and over 90% of people access Facebook and YouTube on mobile. In this context, the problem with featuring a header menu is it takes precious above-the-fold space that could be used to show the user something that would grab their attention and get them to consume the rest of the page and convert. For those of you new to marketing, the above the fold section is the section you see first on your device when the page loads before scrolling. Due to the 2 aforementioned reasons, when creating or optimizing a sales page of any kind, you want to make sure there is no header menu. You may feature a small logo without a link if you have a recognizable brand, but otherwise leave that space for something that might actually grab prospects' attention and keep them on the page. Step number 2 on our checklist is an attention-grabbing headline and optionally a subheadline. The headline's primary purpose on a sales page is to simply get prospects to consume the next sentence or the video on your page if that's what's next. As secondary goals, it can call out your target audience, make a promise related to their problem and their desired result, and invoke their curiosity by introducing the unique mechanism that makes your solution work. More on that later. You may also include what your prospects can avoid by going with your solution as opposed to other solutions. This is usually stuff that they hate or conventional ways of obtaining the desired result that you want to differentiate yourself from. For example, the subheadline and headline for my book, The Dual Funnel Method, reads: For agency, consultancy, coaching, and expert service businesses, how to attract a steady stream of high-paying clients by leveraging one simple pre-sale funnel that generates qualified buyer leads who like and trust you before they ever speak with you or your team, and eliminate the need for sales calls if you wish. It effectively says who it's for, how they can achieve the desired result via a unique new solution, and how to avoid something they don't want to do while still getting what they want. Step number 3 in our checklist is featuring a VSL or a video sales letter. Now, how to create a high-converting VSL is a topic for a whole nother video, but the point I want to make is that in most cases you should have one. Reason being, different people like to consume information in different ways. Some like to read, others like to listen, and yet others are more visual and prefer to watch. Video can also help you illustrate some points more effectively, for example, product demonstrations. Therefore, having both a VSL and a TSL or text sales letter helps you cover everyone's preferences and present your solution in the best possible manner, thus converting a higher percentage of page visitors. Step number 4 on our checklist is an above-the-fold call to action. You want to have a call to action button or link that's above the fold or at most one scroll away from it. This is because you want to make it crystal clear to people what the next step is, and you want to get those who are ready to convert to move forward. Step number 5 on our checklist is a strong lead. The lead is the opening section of your TSL, and this also applies to your VSL. Just as the headline's primary purpose is to get prospects to consume the next thing on your page, so is the lead's purpose. In it, you want to call out your target market and describe their problem better than they can. Cover their main pain points, fears, frustrations, and challenges using their own lingo, and hint or suggest that there's a better way to do things. Step number 6 in our checklist is to feature a section where you introduce yourself and/or your business. Here you quickly lay out who you are, who you help, and why. This section usually ties into step number 7 on our checklist, which is tell a story. Storytelling is a powerful tool because it helps you tackle any false beliefs that your prospects may have that would prevent them from trusting in and thus buying your solution. The story doesn't always have to be long or complex, as long as it successfully serves the aforementioned purpose. In some cases, it can be as short as a few sentences. At some point, I'll probably create a separate video on how to use storytelling in your marketing, so let me know if that's something you'd be interested in the comments. Step number 8 on our checklist is featuring the unique mechanism of your offer. The unique mechanism is the unique piece, feature, or process that makes your solution work and that makes it different from the competition. It's what rids your prospect of accountability for failing to fix their problem so far, and it's what gives them hope that this time it will be different because you're presenting them with a new opportunity that they have not yet tried. I've dedicated an entire video to the unique mechanism and how it helps you differentiate yourself, especially in saturated markets where there's a lot of competition. That video is called Why Your Offer Isn't Converting and How to Fix It, so go and watch it after this one. If you can't find it, let me know in the comments. Step number 9 on our checklist is featuring proof. You can feature text and video testimonials, but an even better alternative is case studies. While testimonials are all about you and how great you are, case studies are about how people just like your prospects achieved amazing results with your solutions, so it gets your prospects to picture themselves getting the same result. Step number 10 on our checklist, if your sales page directly sells something as opposed to a call booking page, is to feature a value stack. Summarize everything your prospect gets along with each deliverable's value and the sum total, and then compare that to the sale price. This helps prospects logically see how much value you're giving them and how little you're asking for in return. Step number 11 on our checklist is called Show, Don't Tell. What it basically means is you want to feature clips, visuals, and graphics to support the points you're making in your copy instead of only writing words on the page or speaking words in the VSL. For example, if you sell a digital product, make sure to feature a cool 3D mock-up of it. Visuals help you make what you offer more tangible, which helps greatly with conversion rates. For another example, if you're a coach and the method you teach is different from the conventional strategies, illustrate it with a graphic instead of just explaining it in words. Step number 12 is feature scarcity and urgency when possible. You want to give prospects a reason to act now, not later today, tomorrow, or next week, but now. You can do so by incorporating scarcity and urgency in your offer. Scarcity means there's limited units, limited spots available, or something of that sort. Once those get taken up, the offer goes away, at least for a while, and knowing this helps get your prospects off the fence. Urgency means giving people an incentive to act now, for example, because there's a limited time deal. Incorporating one or both of these strategies into your offer can help you get prospects to commit and take action. Step number 13 is adding bonuses to your offer. Bonuses are usually complementary to the offer, and a smart thing to do is have each bonus handle an objection that your prospects may have about why your core solution might not work for them. For example, in my book, The Dual Funnel Method, I teach people a strategy called the pre-sell funnel. Now, some of my prospects might be worried that they don't have the technical skills to execute the strategy. This is why one of the bonuses people get when they buy the book is the software cheat sheet for the non-tech savvy entrepreneur. Inside, they can find drag-and-drop solutions that don't require technical knowledge. This way, I handle the objection while giving prospects another deliverable, which boosts the perceived value of my offer. Step number 14 in our checklist is risk reversal. See, whether someone takes you up on your offer or not depends on something called the purchase decision seesaw. On one end of the seesaw lies the perceived value that the prospect will gain from taking you up on your offer. On the other end lies the perceived risk that they might fail to achieve their desired result with your solution. For them to decide to purchase your solution, the perceived value must outweigh the perceived risk. To tilt the seesaw in your favor, on one hand, you can increase the perceived value, for example, by including bonuses, as we've discussed. On the other hand, however, you can also lower the perceived risk. You can do this by giving a reassuring guarantee. The most common example is a 30-day money-back guarantee, but you can also get creative and offer something that would put your specific prospect's mind to rest. Step number 15 is leveraging the concept of the damaging admission. Often when you craft an irresistible offer, people will ask themselves one question: what's the catch? See, people are used to the fact that if it seems too good to be true, it often is, so you want to address that concern. And the best way to do this is by leveraging the concept of the damaging admission. A damaging admission simply means bringing up something about your offer that might be perceived as negative by some people, but that isn't really a deal breaker for your ideal prospects, and in some cases it might even get them to like it even more while simultaneously getting them to believe the rest of your claims. See, people are used to marketers lying to them. So when someone comes along and points out something negative about their own offer, people are more likely to assume that he or she is telling the truth about that negative thing, and thus that he's an honest person in general, and therefore he's telling the truth about the rest of the offer. For example, if your ideal clients happen to be people who don't really care about the cost associated with your offer as much, you may mention that there's one downside to your solution compared to your competitors, which is that yours is a lot more expensive. While some people may perceive this as negative, you know that your ideal clients won't care, and they'll actually perceive you as the higher quality option, and they'll be more likely to believe the rest of your claims. Another example would be pointing out that your solution involves a bit more hard work up front. Most solutions are marketed as cheap, easy, effective, fast. In other words, the best thing since sliced bread. It's much more believable to say, let me level with you for a second. My solution actually takes a bit more work up front than the conventional method. That being said, once it's set up, it's 3 times more effective, and once you get it going, it doesn't actually take that much work to keep up compared to that conventional method. Since you pointed out the negative, prospects are more likely to believe you about the positive. Step number 16 on our checklist is tell them what to do next. Once you've delivered your marketing message and you've presented your offer, you want to clearly tell people the exact steps they need to take to purchase, sign up, enroll, or whatever you want them to do next. Tell them in no uncertain terms what they need to do and what happens next. For example, click the button below, fill in the form, and click the submit button, and someone from our team will reach out to you within the next 24 hours. This piece needs to be dummy-proof so that you're not losing sales just because otherwise convinced prospects end up not purchasing or signing up because they're not tech-savvy or because they're confused. Step number 17 on our checklist is feature a summary when it comes to long pages. If you have a very long sales page, it helps to have a summary of your offer toward the bottom of the page to accommodate for the segment of people who just scroll to the bottom. These people are impatient skimmers, so a bullet point summary at least tells them the key points they need to know so that if something grabs their interest, they can read more, watch the VSL, or decide to buy right away. Step number 18 is featuring a FAQ section. Now, I'm not talking about a standard FAQ that just answers technical questions. Instead, you want to use the FAQ to again summarize your offer and point out key elements like your offer's unique mechanism, guarantee, and bonuses. You also want to use the FAQ to handle the most common objections your prospects may have. Step number 19 in our checklist is featuring CTA buttons or links throughout the entire page so that there's a CTA element more or less for every 2 or 3 scrolls a person takes. Different people are going to be ready to convert to different points on the page, so you want to give them a chance to click a CTA button when they are ready, otherwise you risk losing their attention and thus losing the sale or sign up. Step number 20 in our checklist is maximizing page load speed. As good as your page and offer may be, if your page loads slowly, you lose conversions. This is why you want to test the page load speed and you want to optimize problematic areas like caching, image size optimization, and so on. And step number 21 on our checklist is optimize your fonts and colors. Use a font that's easily readable and consider that serif fonts, which are the ones with the little legs at the beginning and end of each letter, generally have more pull than sans serif fonts, which is why newspapers use them for headlines and subheadings. In terms of colors, have a color scheme that you stick to, but most importantly, make sure that there's contrast between text and backgrounds and that your CTA button pops out. Now that you know how to maximize the conversion rate of your sales and call booking pages, subscribe to the channel and watch this video next to learn my simple 3-step method that will help you attract a steady stream of high-paying clients for your coaching, consulting, or agency business.